Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh? 1.
This week, episode 22 of season 2, I'll be talking to you guys a little bit about a news report I saw about toxic fabrics and workout material. I'll also be talking to you guys about some tips and tricks on how to lift strong and prosper. This episode of the Union of Muscle podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Go to www.audibletrial.com/Union of Muscle for a free trial and a free book.
Padnie silnym procветать. Мочь prosperity i prosperować.
The views presented here may or may not be those of the host, guest, Union of Muscle, Black Hat Management, or its affiliates. Any information in this podcast should first be reviewed by the corresponding professional, whether that's medical, financial, or legal, before applying it to your life. Do you work in health and fitness or want to? Feel free to contact me, Coach Paul, at unionofmuscle.com for more information. Would you like to lose 10, 20, 50, or 60 pounds? And still eat those carbohydrates? Coach Bob LeMaine, the carb loading king, can get you trim, fit, and full of muscle while still eating those carbohydrates. So go to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on the Fitness Coaches tab and find Coach Bob LeMaine. And remember to lift strong and prosper. Summer is almost here. Do you want to get fit for the summer? Do you want to get beach ready, trim, fit, and feeling good? Our newest coach, Coach Jamie, is running a Summer's Almost Here special to help get you into the shape you want for the warm summer days. Go to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on the Fitness Coaches tab. There you can find Coach Jamie and his summer special. With Coach Jamie and the Union of Muscle, you can lift strong and prosper. Go to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on Find a Fitness Coach to find a coach that fits your needs the best. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Your Union of Muscle coupon code MUSCLE1 is now accepted at earthskinbodycare.com, rubberarmmusclerub.com, ewcmma.net, and axonlabs.io. I want to thank all you beautiful fitness freaks, geeks, and athletes for going to www.unionofmuscle.com and clicking on the Patrons tab. There, you are able to sign up as a patron. As a patron, you get access to commercial-free episodes of the Union of Muscle podcast. Additionally, you get additional ways to earn fit coins. You're assigned a Union of Muscles coach who's going to help you stay accountable to your own personal fitness goals. If you haven't signed up as a patron to the podcast and to the Union of Muscle, go ahead and do so now. Just head over to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on the Patrons tab. And remember to lift strong and prosper. You're listening to the Union of Muscle podcast, where muscle meets information and inspiration. I want to talk to you guys real quick about my current workout routine. I've actually switched things up. So if you've been following the podcast and you've been following my workout routine, you know that currently I've been doing a power build where I was just doing, say, 3 sets of 5 to 6 reps heavyweight. And of course I was doing about 4 different exercises per muscle and taking breaks in between. And I've seen a lot of good results doing this, but I'm feeling as though those results are beginning to plateau, and so it's time to switch it up. So I have actually started now to switch this over to more of a pyramiding up, or maybe it's a pyramiding down. Well, you'll see. So instead of, I've upped my number of sets, so I'm doing now 4 sets, not including a warm-up. I'll still do a warm-up set with very light weight just to get my form down before I start on that particular exercise. Some people think that a warm-up is just about warming up the muscle. I disagree. I think it's also about getting your form right as you get ready to perform an exercise. So even if your muscles are warmed up, you don't have to pre-exhaust them per se by doing an absorbent or a huge amount of reps for that first warm-up set. But you do want to do enough to where, of course, your muscles are warmed up if they're not already, and that you have your form where it needs to be. Okay, and if you don't know how to do good form, I'll do my best to give you guys some tips and tricks all along the way. However, it's a good time to get a coach at that point. Having good form is paramount to making sure that you can lift strong for a lifetime. And you want to lift strong for a lifetime. You don't want to have unneeded injuries or create weakness in your muscle that can lead to injuries during your day. And what am I talking about, weakness in the muscle? So let's say you're doing bench press or a curl and you're not going full range of motion. You're just doing part range of motion. Now, this can be good for building up size in the muscle, but you're also, in a way, breeding in weakness in the muscle, in that once you move to a position where that arm or your body is able to move, but you do not have the same strength. So let's say you can lift, or curl, we'll say curl, you can curl 60 pounds. Say you can curl 60 pounds, but in a very short range of motion. That's fine until you actually have to curl 40 pounds in the full range of motion. You might be able to handle that on the upper part of the motion, or the motion you've been working out strong in, but not in the lower part of that motion. So you've created weakness in your muscle, and this can lead to life injuries. So back to the topic at hand, we're talking about my workout routine and how I'm switching that up over to a pyramiding type of workout, only a half pyramid. So I'm up to 4 sets instead of the 3, minus the warm-up set. And then what I'm doing is I'm starting at that new high that I've worked up to during the power build. So I'll start at that. Let's say I'm doing 100-pound dumbbells for a incline bench press. So I'll start off with 100-pound dumbbells, doing as many reps as I can for that first set. And that's creating my baseline. So if I do 4 or 5 reps for that set, then I'm going to put those weights away and move it down about 5 pounds. And I'm going to try my best not to take long breaks. I want to get my breaks for about the same time it takes me to reposition, realign the weights, and in this case, find a spotter to load me up into the decline, because it's kind of hard to do that, or incline, because it's kind of hard to get into an incline and then twist 100-pound dumbbells on top of you. I have some weakness there, but yeah, that takes a lot to build up your strength in order to pull 100-pound dumbbells up from that position. So I find somebody to put those in on my midsection area there, and then be able to rotate those into position to begin to push. So I try to take only the amount of time it takes me to set up for the next rep, because I'm going to have to change out the weights, everyone. So once I get, say, the 95-pound dumbbells, then I'm going to try to do that for at least 1 or 2 more reps. So if I did 4 or 5 on the first set, I'm going to do 5 or 6 on the second set. And so you want to raise that up at least 1 or 2 reps higher than you did. So you're actually going down in weight, but you're going up in reps. And I do that for now 4 sets instead of the 3 sets in the power build. So I'm finding that once again, my muscles are starting to get sore. I'm starting to feel as though I'm gaining more strength. And of course, this is also beginning as we get into a higher amount of reps. It's always helping us to hit those slow twitch muscles a little bit more, because we're breaking into the endurance. I'm finding a little bit more endurance. I'm finding a cardiovascular increase because I'm not taking as long of breaks. And wow, it's tough, but it feels right. It feels so tough, but it feels so right. I want to encourage you guys to get into the gym, to work out, to find a way to every day engage in purposeful exercise. That's not, oh, I took in my groceries, so that's exercise. That's not, oh, I walked a flight of stairs, or I walked to my car. That's not exercise. That's just life. Exercise is to make you stronger for life. It's to make you prosperous in life. It's to give you a bit of an edge when it comes to meeting to life's demands. That's part of the purpose of exercise, to help us meet life's demands and keep going strong, to allow us to prosper. So every day, you gotta find something that's about exercise, that's dedicated to exercise, going for a walk, doing some stretches. If you can't lift weights, if you're not quite there yet, practice just lifting your arms above your head where you're sitting and counting, or maybe holding them straight out to the side. See how long you can hold your arms up. Practice that. But if you're not doing anything on a daily basis, try to do 5 to 10 minutes a day, at least, of doing something where you're dedicated solely to exercise. And what you'll find is not only will this begin to help you physically, but also mentally and emotionally, as you take control of your life, of your body, and you're empowered to lift strong and prosper.
I want to thank all you beautiful fitness freaks, geeks, and athletes for going to www.unionofmuscle.com and clicking on the Patrons tab. There, you are able to sign up as a patron. As a patron, you get access to commercial-free episodes of the Union of Muscle podcast. Additionally, you get additional ways to earn Fitcoins. You're assigned a Union of Muscles coach who's going to help you stay accountable to your own personal fitness goals. If you haven't signed up as a patron to the podcast and to the Union of Muscle, go ahead and do so now. Just head over to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on the Patrons tab. And remember to lift strong and prosper. Go to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on Find a Fitness Coach to find a coach that fits your needs the best.
Do you work in health and fitness or want to? Feel free to contact me, Coach Paul, at unionofmuscle.com for more information. You're listening to the Union of Muscle podcast, where muscle meets information and inspiration. One thing that can frustrate a lot of people about working out is finding the time to do it, because a good workout routine does take time. And whether it is that you have a busy schedule or just don't want to work out because maybe you find there's other things more interesting to do with your time is hard to do. But don't let this frustrate you. So this can be a big deterrent, and it could be a deterrent because you're letting it be a deterrent in that you want something to be frustrating about working out, so you're creating frustration in order to give yourself a reason why you don't like to work out or why you're not going to. In this case, you're just kind of really being dishonest with yourself. So I can't help you too much there other than to encourage you to get honest with yourself and really decide that you want to work out and not that you're just trying to find a way out of it. But if it is the case that you do have time issues when it comes to working out, let me give you a few tips. So, number one is to go in with a game plan already. Many gym goers have a tendency to want to have great goals, want to work out with intensity. However, they don't have a workout routine in play. They don't know what they're doing until they get there. They let their emotions determine their workout routine, just like they let their emotions determine what they're going to eat. So just like you shouldn't be asking yourself, what do I feel like eating? You should also not be asking yourself, what kind of workout do I feel like doing? You need to have both a meal plan, which is about giving yourself a nutritious balanced diet according to your goals, as well as a workout routine, which is geared towards the goals that you have.
So go in there with a plan, first off. Second of all, go in there with a plan in which you can accomplish within the time frame you have. So don't get overly frustrated. Make sure that you plan in extra cushion time, so to speak, between when you get to the gym. So you'll pull into the lot. Say if you're good at getting to the gym at a certain time, what you'll find is it actually takes time to get out of your car, walk into the building, put your stuff where you want to place it, whether that's in a locker room, in a cubby, however it is, and then begin to get yourself in the right position to grab some weights and start your warm-up routine. That all takes time. That may take 10 to 15 minutes just for you to get from your car, to set all your stuff down, to where you actually begin your warm-up. So remember that when getting into your routine. Remember that you're going to have a little bit of a cool down. You may have 5 minutes, you do that, and then another time to walk to the car and get back in. Then calculate your travel time. But during that time period, make sure that your workout fits into the time that you have. So don't get yourself frustrated by planning a workout routine which doesn't fit the time that you have. This is the importance about being consistent. Let's say you can't do the full workout you want to do. If you're consistent, you'll get it the next day, or the next day, or the next day. So long as you're being consistent coming in, you can plan a workout routine which fits your schedule. If not, of course, you can talk to one of our coaches to help you out along the way. They're happy to write the meal plans. They're happy to get you a workout routine that's going to fit you and your schedule. But along this, let me give you a few more tips about this idea of not building in frustrations and having that workout routine, that plan going forward. So, I have a plan. Every day I know what I'm working out. I know the exercises I'm going to be doing. I know the rep count. I know the sets. I know approximately the weight I'm going to be using. So I know this all ahead of time going in. Now, some days we don't feel like doing that routine, and this happened to me just the other day. I did not feel like doing that routine. I would have much rather done a different body part that day. However, I'd planned to be there that day, and I needed to get it done. What was awesome was that I said, you know what? If I don't want to do it, that means I have to put in twice as much effort. And at one point, I started enjoying the pain and torture I felt I was putting myself through. Because at least, whether or not I was enjoying the workout itself, I was enjoying the fact that I was going twice as hard, that I was able to push harder through it to get it done right and to get it done quickly. So I was not taking long breaks in between my sets, and I was making sure that my reps were good, that every rep was worth the effort that I was putting in order to be there. So sometimes, if you want, you can kind of flip that whole idea of not liking to work out, if that's who you are, on its head, and you can say, because I don't like working out, I want to make sure that every rep counts, that every exercise I do is good. So really begin to understand the mechanics, and that you're not in there to lift weights. You're not in there to run on a treadmill. That's just the mechanism by which you are using to get your goal. Your goal should be to increase your muscle size, if that's what you're wanting to do, to increase strength, if that's what you're wanting to do, to increase cardiovascular activity, to lose weight. Those are the goals. The other things are just what you're doing in order to get that goal. So when you go in there, you want to maximize the benefit of that exercise. Not mainly just doing it quickly and sloppily just to get it done, because you're going to end up hurting yourself and getting injured, and then you might as well not have come in, because guess what? You're probably in a worse condition than you are. So try to find the workouts that you do like doing and stick to those. At times, if you want more than what just your comfort level allows, that's when it's time to stretch, to push through it even though you don't want to. But that's for those of you who want more, who are tired with the results that you have and want to get more out of it. I do like weight training. I do recommend it, because for most people who want to lose weight, for most people who want to stay in shape, for most people who want to look great, having a little bit more muscle is going to help you burn calories when you're not working out. How would you like to burn calories when you're not even working out? That's what muscle can help you do. Having that muscle there. You don't even have to be in the gym to burn calories when you have more muscle on your frame than you did before, because muscle is expensive. Muscle is expensive energy-wise, and you have to feed it. But you can eat more, eat well, eat right. The more muscle you have, so the more muscle you have, the easier it's going to be to shed the unwanted pounds. And you don't have to necessarily bulk up and get muscular to have more muscle. You're just trading in the flabby fat for toned, firm muscle. Keep that in mind while you're working out. I'm proud of you. I think you got it in you. I know you can do great things to inspire yourself to live a healthy fitness lifestyle and those around you. Would you like to lose 10, 20, 50, or 60 pounds and still eat those carbohydrates? Coach Bob LeMaine, the carb loading king, can get you trim, fit, and full of muscle while still eating those carbohydrates. So go to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on the Fitness Coaches tab and find Coach Bob LeMaine. And remember to lift strong and prosper. Summer is almost here. Do you want to get fit for the summer? Do you want to get beach ready, trim, fit, and feeling good? Our newest coach, Coach Jamie, is running a Summer's Almost Here special to help get you into the shape you want for the warm summer days. Go to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on the Fitness Coaches tab. There you can find Coach Jamie and his summer special. With Coach Jamie and the Union of Muscle, you can lift strong and prosper. Go to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on Find a Fitness Coach to find a coach that fits your needs the best. You're listening to the Union of Muscle podcast, where muscle meets information and inspiration. For those of you who have listened to the program previously, you may remember a few episodes where I've talked about how more muscle can give you more problems. So this segment is called More Muscles, More Problems. You may have more muscle, more problems when you have to make way between your pecs in order to fit your neck. So I was at the gym using the stretch rack, and if you guys know what the stretch rack is, it kind of looks like a small backstop, but it's got these stretch bands there and allows you to stretch out. So I had my hands on the inside, in the innermost two bands. This is a stretch for your lats. As well, it can be a good stretch for, or a good way to kind of loosen up your neck a little bit. So I put my hands on these two most middle ones, and then I bend down and put my head between my arms. So my arms are actually extended above my head. Now, today, or this day that I was doing this, which happened to be today, but I just worked out my chest. And so it was probably a bit more inflamed or puffy than it would normally be on a normal day. So on a normal day, I haven't had to do this yet. But I reached my hands above my head there, I was holding on to those two thick elastics, and then I would hang my head down in between. And I noticed that I had to kind of use my chin in order to separate my pecs. So that way my neck could fit in that space that I had to create so I could breathe as I tried to hang my head down in between my arms. So, you, like me, may have more muscle, more problems when you have to separate your pecs in order to fit your neck in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Your Union of Muscle coupon code MUSCLE1 is now accepted at earthskinbodycare.com, rubberarmmusclerub.com, ewcmma.net, and axonlabs.io. Do you work in health and fitness or want to? Feel free to contact me, Coach Paul, at unionofmuscle.com for more information. I'd like to discuss with you real quick an article I read in this week's paper. It was in the Roanoke Times. They were actually saying that, and I guess you could go to the article in the Roanoke Times that came out in this past week and look at that. I'll see if I can't find a link for you in the show notes. But it talks about how some athletic clothing has toxins in it. Now, normally I'm not one to get all excited about toxins and things like that. I think we live in an environment full of it, and it's a little bit hard to necessarily weed it out. But they're finding that some athletic wear has toxins in it, and that normally it wouldn't be such a big deal in the textile if it were not a clothing in which was used for exercise. Because during exercise, there's increased heat as well as moisture. And your skin, of course, is releasing its own toxins and chemicals and salts that seem to be interacting with these fabrics that normally, if it's not athletic wear, it's not going to be such a big issue. However, because it is athletic wear and people are using it where there increased heat and temperature and moisture than normal, this has a tendency to release the toxins at such a rate in which it can contribute to bad health or cancer and things like that nature. So this article did say that there are a few companies, and I'll let you refer to that or do your own research, which are trying to go toxin-free or reduce the amount of toxins in their clothing. So this is just something I wanted to bring to your attention that I thought was interesting, that may or may not be true. It was a newspaper article. If they did their facts and checked and researched that what they're presenting was true, that's great. But I always encourage people to do your own research from multiple sides of the argument, so that way you can get a clearer picture of what's going on and then make a decision for yourself.
Do you work in health and fitness or want to? Feel free to contact me, Coach Paul, at unionofmuscle.com for more information.
Your Union of Muscle coupon code MUSCLE1 is now accepted at earthskinbodycare.com, rubberarmmusclerub.com, ewcmma.net, and axonlabs.io.
Go to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on Find a Fitness Coach to find a coach that fits your needs the best. Summer is almost here. Do you want to get fit for the summer? Do you want to get beach ready, trim, fit, and feeling good? Our newest coach, Coach Jamie, is running a Summer's Almost Here special to help get you into the shape you want for the warm summer days. Go to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on the Fitness Coaches tab. There you can find Coach Jamie and his summer special. With Coach Jamie and the Union of Muscle, you can lift strong and prosper.
I want to thank all you beautiful fitness freaks, geeks, and athletes for going to www.unionofmuscle.com and clicking on the Patrons tab. There you are able to sign up as a patron. As a patron, you get access to commercial-free episodes of the Union of Muscle podcast. Additionally, you get additional ways to earn Fitcoins. You're assigned a Union of Muscles coach who's going to help you stay accountable to your own personal fitness goals. If you haven't signed up as a patron to the podcast and to the Union of Muscle, go ahead and do so now. Just head over to www.unionofmuscle.com and click on the Patrons tab. And remember to lift strong and prosper.
You've been listening to the Union of Muscle podcast. All rights are reserved by the content's creators.